We are live. Welcome, guys, back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle, and today we've got smaller card. I mean, we've got 10 games in the NBA, but we can go through those pretty quickly. We got game 5 of the World Series, and it's trade day. We'll talk about that. And we got one hockey game. But before we jump into it, we'll go ahead and look back at what happened yesterday. What went right, what went wrong, and I don't know what it is. I can't get out of my own way. And I could have, I know I'm going to point and choose and whatever. I could have easily been profitable yesterday, and a couple of things just didn't flip my way. We'll start off early games. The Pittsburgh Philly game, I got the Sean Couturier point. I did not get Owen Tippett, and I did not get Erik Karlsson. So 1 and 2 in that game. Better game was the Flames game, although the Flames lost, which that was tied 2 minutes left to go in the game, so that one could have went any other way. I got Morgan Frost and Huberdeau's point on 5 minutes into the game, so that was great. That was fantastic. So 2 and 1 that game. Carolina Hurricanes puck line, they lose outright at home 6-3. Good job, Canes. Way to show up. Buffalo Sabres lose in overtime. Once again, a game that could have gone either way, and I was just on the wrong side of it. And Zach Benson did not get a point in that game. One did fall my way, I will say, because I had Anaheim. Although they were up 2-0 in the third period, it shouldn't even gone into overtime. But I cashed that one at plus 161, and I got Jackson Lacomb's point at plus 125. Winners there. Islander game was split out. I think we were up 4 cents. Duran over a point was a winner, and the over 6 was a winner. The Matthew Schaefer, which I bet him twice, and he has not scored now, both times. And the Islanders puck line looked good for the first 5 minutes, and then, for the first period, and then they completely fell apart. Both of those were losers. The over in the Miami game, Miami and Charlotte, the Hornets, was my only winner in the NBA last night, which was a little bit frustrating because I know I liked a different – I put in the wrong thing on the site, and I messed that one up. But I got the over in the Heat game. Ryan O'Reilly did not get on the scorecard, which was unfortunate. The Predators only scored twice. He was not involved. Complete reverse sweep in freaking college football. I said that Texas State game was going to go under and Texas State would keep it close. 52-20 JMU. I was so fucking wrong. And then UTEP, I believe they felt, UTEP was covering. Even were they winning? No, they weren't winning at any point. But they were covering, and then 10-0 fourth quarter, and that was the end of the cover for UTEP. Vladimir Tarasenko point did not get there for the Wild. The play that I put in wrong on the site, and I'm a little bit frustrated with, was the over in the Sacramento game. I wish I wanted to put up the under. I guess I put up the over, and that was a mistake. My original thought, I liked it, and then whatever. Under in the New York Knicks game, loses by 2 points. Loses by 2 points. Shane Bieber got his out, so I was happy about that. Shohei Ohtani, his outs. He got to the 6th inning. I had over 18.5. He got 18. And he got into he was allowed to pitch. And the first 2 guys get on. No outs, and they pull him. Another one that could have went my way, but it didn't. And that's why, I had a losing day. Emmett Finney didn't get there, but the over in the Pistons game did. Washington, the Capitals, lose 1-0. Yeah. The under in the Chicago game, I considered dead in the first period when the Blackhawks scored 3 goals. That's always fun. What's going on with the Blackhawks are actually really good. I'm surprised. Colorado Avalanche puck line, that was a winner. They went 8-4. That one was nice. Mikhail Sergachev for the Mammoth. He cashed his point, but the Utah Mammoth lose 6-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. Rangers money line, that one was a winner. They win 2-0 in Vancouver. We go to the player props from the Kraken game. Vince Dunn cashed. Matthew Beniers did not. And then the final hockey game was good to me. I had the over in the Sharks game, and I had Toffoli and Will Smith. Both of them got points, and it went over. That one was nice. And then one of my favorite plays in the NBA last night was the Clippers. I did not expect the Clippers to score 79 points and get blown out by 19. Not ideal. So definitely not great, but hopefully I can end this losing streak because that's now 4 days in a row losing. So not fun. Hopefully we can turn it around today. I'm doing good. And then let's see, TikTok chat. Bounce back today. I sure hope so. Make sure you guys are following the TikTok, trying to grow the TikTok. So that'd be pretty nice if you guys are able to follow that and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that. I did not ignore you. I said you asked, hey, how are you doing? I said good. I did not ignore you. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into the World Series Game 5. The Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers. Dodgers minus 205 with a total of 8 in this game. We've got the rematch of Game 1, Blake Snell versus Trey Savage. Blake Snell, once again, these playoffs, was fantastic coming into the World Series. He allowed 2 earned runs in 21 innings. And then he got absolutely blown up for 5 earned runs, 8 hits in 5 innings in that 11-4 loss in Game 1 to the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah. On the opposite side, you got Trey Savage, who's looked really good this postseason. And I will say, because I watched Game 1 because I love Trey Savage. He's an ECU guy. I think he's a really good pitcher. Not to mention the Blue Jays are 6-1 in his starts. So Trey Day normally turns out pretty well for the Blue Jays. Last start, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, threw up. He didn't have it last game. I will say he just didn't. He didn't have it, and he still was able to get through what he got through, which was actually quite impressive, and allowed the Blue Jays to stay in the game and eventually end up winning the game. So I will say this will be Trey Savage's first career postseason start on the road, but Savage has looked great all postseason long. I'm grabbing a strikeout prop. I got over 5.5 strikeouts at plus 125 for Mr. Savage. I just think he has a big game, bounce back after didn't really have it last game. He's just got to get strikes. He's just got to get fastballs in for strikes, and then his splitter can really work. And I think he's going to be able to do that tonight. So go ahead, give me Trey Savage over strikeouts. I'm not touching a side or total in this game. I'm just going to grab Big Trey for this one. I'm not going to do that. Okay. To the TikTok chat, I got Kings winning, not going to lie. I don't tonight. Dodgers win and over. Nope. Chicago and Denver over. I got Chicago -5 and I got Joker triple-double. So as long as the Bulls score, sure. How you like the Blazers tonight? I am big on reading line movements and market and money and all that stuff. And the line opened up at 1.5. It went up to 3. And a lot of and the money, the way that was coming in more on the Jazz, and the line was moving towards Portland, which makes me like Portland today. Henry, appreciate you following the stream. Cavs win by 67. That would be an absolute blowout. I just don't see that happening. I took Boston. And we're going to jump into the NBA. Because we've got some NBA games. We'll start with the Rockets and the Raptors. Rockets, 5.5 point favorites with a total of 233.5. We've got the Rockets this year coming into this one 1-2. Toronto 1-3. So both teams kind of struggling off the rip. But Houston played against Oklahoma City and Detroit, which are two probable playoff teams. On the opposite side, you got Brooklyn. Their only win was against Brooklyn, which they were 16-point favorites. Should have been. And then we look at the Toronto side. They're 1-3. They had their 20-point win on opening night versus Atlanta. Since then, have lost to Milwaukee, Dallas, and San Antonio. And I looked at this game with the way that the line was coming in. And the line opened up around 6.5, and it's dropped to 5.5. I was able to get a 6. I grabbed the Raptors. I grabbed the Raptors tonight plus the points. The way that the line's coming in, it was moving towards, obviously moving towards the Raptors, and all the money's coming in on Houston. So causes me to like the underdog in this game. So I will be on the Raptors at home plus the 6 in this one. Allie saying, don't take the Blue Jackets. Okay. I'm still going to take the Blue Jackets. Why don't you think the Cavs win? We'll actually talk about that game next. I promise you we're about to jump into that one. Bro, I don't like FIU. That's fine. You don't have – this is just what I'm betting. I like going against the market. I like going against the public. Not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people love to grab the favorites and overs and stuff. I'm not as component on that. I like FIU in that game. I think they win outright. Charles, appreciate you following. I play for FIU. Do you now? And you're saying you don't like? Oh, no, Alex is saying. Think about it. Zach LaVine and DeMar are playing former teams. It's a revenge game. And Detroit money line. Why? Detroit money line question mark. Pistons. I will say I did not bet the Pistons. I did not bet that game. I believe it was going to be Magic or nothing, but I did not bet that game. Steels, appreciate you following the stream. Hollywood, appreciate you following the stream. That's the picks. Yes, it is. Detroit money line. Not interested in that game. Adivja over 1.5 3-pointers. I'll be completely honest with you. Never even heard of him. Never even heard of him. I don't really follow the players a lot. I follow the teams and I follow markets and stuff. If Lakers just beat these dudes, how you taking the spread? Keep in mind this just because they beat them last time doesn't mean they're going to beat them this time. Not to mention the Lakers will be without LeBron and Luka, and it's going to be in Minnesota. If you're going to take it like that, then you're going to lose a lot of plays if you're just going to be like, oh, they beat them last time, they have to beat them again. Any lead on Mavs Pacers? I kind of leaned Pacers, but I decided I'm not going to bet every single game today. So, what's up, Bryce? Welcome to the stream. Let's jump into the next. We're going to talk the Cavs now. Cavs and the Celtics. The Cavaliers minus 3.5 with a total of 234.5. Now, this is a Boston Celtics team that does not look the same just because they don't have Jason Tatum at the moment. That's why they're dogs at home. They are coming off a 32-point win against New Orleans. So they got that going for them. Previous to that, they lost 3 games in a row. One to Philly by a point. One to the Knicks by 10. The Knicks, and that was in New York, and to the Pistons by 6. That was in Detroit, and then they won their game against New Orleans. On the opposite side, you got Cleveland, who is actually looking pretty good since losing their opening game to the Knicks by 6. They've beaten Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Detroit all by only Detroit was covered. Only Detroit covered the spread though. They only covered the spread versus Detroit. Here's the deal. I'm on the Boston Celtics in this game. I saw this line open up at 4.5, and it's dropped down to 3.5. And with the line dropping a whole point, and 73% of the bets and 84% of the money is on Cleveland. So if that type of money's coming in, the line should be going from 4 to 5.5 to 6 area, not down to a 3.5. So that's why I jumped on Boston tonight. Personally, I don't really care about the injury report or whatever. I know Jason Tatum is going to be out for a while. I know that they don't look the same without Jason Tatum. That's fine. I'm going to find, most likely, more often going to find value with Boston now because of that. So I am on the Celtics. I got 3.5 on them today. Gabe is saying, love FIU tonight, by the way. Good pick. I do too. I like that play. What's up, no name? Walter, appreciate you following the stream. Hector, appreciate you following the stream. Cavs winning today? No, I don't think so. Best bet, Nikola Jokic triple-double or Trey Savage strikeouts. There you go. Let's go to the next game. We get the Orlando Magic taking on the Detroit Pistons. We've got the Magic sitting at 1.5-point favorites with a total of 228.5. The Orlando Magic finally coming off of, they won their first game. Sorry. They won their first game against Miami and then have lost 3 straight to Atlanta, Chicago, and Philly. This was a Magic team that I thought was going to be really good this year, and they are not off to a great start. Another team that I thought was going to be off to a really good start, and they just haven't been, is the Detroit Pistons. They're off to a 2-2 start. They lost to Chicago and they lost to Cleveland. They've beaten Houston and Boston this year. They're 2-2. I look towards this one and I decided to stay off of it. The way I kind of looked at it, it was Orlando or nothing, but this line really hasn't done a lot of moving for me to want to go after it. So this one, I didn't want to bet every single game of the card. I felt like this one was a good one for me to stay off of. So this one's going to be a pass on the card for today. Rockets or Raptors? I like the Raptors. I like the Raptors right here. Raptors +6. We'll keep on rolling. We got the Hawks and the Nets. The Hawks are 8.5-point road favorites with a total of 238.5. I took a different approach to this game, and I'm going to see how I can do with some of these. We've got the Atlanta Hawks that are 1-3 this year, but most of their games have been pretty high scoring. They're scoring 118, 111, 100, 123. Those are against better defensive teams. On the opposite side, you've got the Brooklyn Nets, who have not been great, including letting up points like crazy. 136, 131, 118, 137. And they're 0-4 this year. Expect the Nets to be the worst team in basketball, obviously. I would be, what do we got, 82 games in the season? Maybe they win 20, maybe. But they're going to be, it might be a while until they get their first win. I'm going to be on Atlanta team total over 123. The Nets have allowed over 123 points in 3 out of their 4 games. And I just think the Hawks are going to be able to score enough against them. So I took the Hawks team total over in this game. The only reason why I did that is I didn't want to lay 8.5 points on the road. So I decided that the better option was to just take the team total for the Hawks. Blue Jays or Jays? Trey Savage over strikeouts. And by the way, 50, I saw your comment. I will get to your comment. I talk over each game. I'm not going to stop talking about a game to read a comment. So I will eventually get to your comments. I appreciate you commenting and asking me questions. I just need to be able. I need to talk about the game, and then I can go and read your comment. And I guess I would lean Jays. I like your Savage tonight though. Cade under 25 points. Sure. I'll be honest. I have nothing in that game. Sacramento beating Bulls. No. I think Sacramento is going to be is going to be the bottom team in the Western Conference. You're good, dude. Detroit +8.5. Where the heck are you getting? Where are you getting 8.5 for Detroit? Is the +6 for Toronto the spread? Yes, that's what I got. That's the spread. But Emmanuel, let me know where you're getting 8.5 for Detroit. Alternative line. Okay, I will never recommend an alternative line. If you don't like a play enough to grab the actual line, then no. Yeah, I was about to say paying a bunch for plus 8.5. I will personally never recommend anything over minus 130. So that's my thing. Now, if you're putting that in a parlay with something else, fine. But I'm not a big parlay person, so I don't recommend parlays. Yeah, I got you, dude. But just I will never recommend that. Let's keep on rolling. We got the Kings and the Bulls. Bulls are 5.5 points favorites with a total of 238.5. Bulls this year are, I believe, still undefeated. 3-0 this year. Yeah, they're one of the undefeated teams. Sacramento 1-3. Sacramento, 1-3 this year. Only win was against Utah at home, which I don't think Utah is all that good. Losses were to Phoenix, which is not a good team. And the Lakers without LeBron, which is not a good team. And then they covered the spread versus the Thunder, but they lost. On the opposite side, you got the Bulls, who are 3-0. They were dogs in all 3 games, I believe. Yep, dogs in all 3 games. They beat Detroit, Orlando, and Atlanta. So they got the job done in where they have. Now they're big favorites here. This is a line that, for me, opened up around 3.5, and it spiked all the way up to 4.5, 5. I will say it has. I've seen some 4.5s and some 5s now. I personally got 5 on the Bulls. I think the Bulls stay undefeated. And I just really think Sacramento is one of the worst teams in the West. I think they are the worst team in the Western Conference. And when it comes to, where did my page go for? I lost my page. Okay. For the live odds. Or the line movements. So let's get back to that. Thank you. I'm still, but that's with the money coming in the right way in the Bulls. I like the Bulls tonight. Give me the -5. Cavs money line outright. Cavs are -3.5 point favorites. I'm not going to tell you to bet that. I'm on the opposite side. Sacramento also back-to-back on the road. Yeah, rough spot. Can you explain the team total for Atlanta? Team total over 123 points at -111 odds. Yeah, that's the total, and that's the odds. It's just close together. Sorry. Scurvy, appreciate you following the stream. JN, I have Blake Snell under 6 strikeouts. I don't hate that. I'm hoping he gets hit tonight. I have +180 for the Blue Jays to win the World Series. Scurvy sent TikTok 5 things. Appreciate it. I don't know what that is, but I will eventually figure it out. Utah. I am not on Utah tonight. I'm on Portland. Right here, Portland. Emmanuel, appreciate you following the TikTok. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are. We're trying to hit 1,500 followers on TikTok. We're up to. Okay. Well, let me. Oh, it's locked. It's up to 1,452 followers on TikTok. So make sure you guys keep on following. I do appreciate up to 1,454. I do appreciate everybody following. We're live Monday through Saturday here on ESP. Now, we'll keep on rolling. We got the Pacers and the Mavericks. Mavericks are sitting at 6.5 point favorites with a total of 228.5. This is a Pacers team that's still looking for their first win of the year. They lost to Oklahoma City in overtime. They lost to Memphis by 25, and they lost to the Timberwolves by 4. They did cover in 2 out of those 3 games. On the opposite side, you got the Dallas Mavericks, who are 1-3 to start off the year. Only win was a 10-point win versus the Toronto Raptors. Losses were to San Antonio, Washington by double digits as a 9.5 point favorite, and Oklahoma City, which they covered. So they have covered in their last 2 games. And I will be honest, I looked at this game and wanted nothing to do with it. I feel like it's Indiana or nothing. I feel like it's Pacers or nothing. But the way that the money was coming in, gave me no confidence in wanting to do that because 49% of the bets, but only 28% of the money was on the Pacers, which is a big kind of red flag for me. So I decided I'm going to be passing on the Pacers game. Not really anything I wanted to get involved with. I can, and the total's a big jumbled mess. So this Pacer game is going to be a complete stay away for me. Coyote's in the chat. How you doing? Rochester Americans puck line. I only bet the NHL. Toronto game over 5. What do you mean Toronto game over 5? Oh, those are all AHL. Bruins money line and Chicago Wolves. Got it. Still got to cap the last 4 games. Okay. Where is everybody? Not here yet. I don't know. The chat's kind of dead today. There is the chat's pretty good on the TikTok though. I will say that. Got the Raptors plus 10. How's that looking? It's down to a 6. So if you got that, then you got a good number. What is CBJ minus 115? Sorry for all the questions. Hey, ask away. That's a Columbus Blue Jackets. It's hockey. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. FIU under. As long as FIU covers the 3.5. Personally, I have no opinion on the total. Joker, 9 assists, 10 rebounds. I have Joker for a triple-double, so yes, go for it. Yeah, I've been watching and capping the AHL this year. I don't cap or watch NHL that much. That's fair. I can't personally. It's kind of just a big jumbled mess to go after. I'm just getting down NHL. So FIU, yes, we like FIU. Middle Tennessee. I will be honest. I bet nothing in that Middle Tennessee game. Because although that middle, I might have to at this point. Let me look at this. Yeah, I'm going to end up taking Middle Tennessee. I'm going to take Middle Tennessee with you. I'm going to take them probably after the show. I'm going to take them outright. I'm going to take them with you, though. Jeremy Grant, 15 points. He's still in Portland, right? I'll be honest. I don't pay attention to the players. I just pay attention to the line movements. So let's keep on rolling. We got the Pelicans and the Nuggets. Nuggets are 12.5-point favorites. 238.5 is your total in this game. We've got the Nuggets coming into this one, I believe 2-1. Yep, and the Pelicans are still looking for their first win of the year. Pelicans losses to Memphis, to San Antonio, and to Boston. And they pushed one, they lost the other 2. Denver, 2-1 to start the year. They had their double overtime loser to Golden State on their opening game. Since then, a 22-point win against Phoenix and a 13-point win versus the T-Wolves. And they've looked pretty good coming into it. I will say I did not take a side in this game. And if I were to take a side, I think it's Denver or nothing. It would be because the line got up to 13. Yeah, it would be a pass on the side. I am going to continue to bet Nikola Jokic triple-double. So far, I bet it 3 times this year. We're up 4.45 units doing it because it was a plus 160, a plus 160, and a plus 125. Today, it's plus 120. We're just going to continue to grab Nikola Jokic triple-double and what is going to be an MVP season form. And I think that hopefully voter fatigue will be off of him now. And I do like Nikola Jokic triple-double. I'm going to bet that every single game until I'm just going to bet it every game. It keeps winning, and it's plus money. Until it gets to be ridiculous minus money or whatever, I'm going to take Nikola Jokic triple-double every game. JN is saying Nemes Quinta under 9.5 points and rebounds. And points and assists. I'll be completely honest. I have not a clue who that is. Any best bets considering money lines for NBA? These are all the plays I got for today. So you can they're all equal to me. Can you speak on FIU and Missouri State? Yeah, that line opened up at 4.5. It dropped to 3.5 with all the money coming on Missouri State. So I took FIU today. To the YouTube chat. Grant's been going over 15. Good play. There you go for the guy that asked in the TikTok chat. So much movement in NHL. It is harder for sure, but more edge if you have time. I don't have the time, but I'm glad you're doing well in it. Pelicans plus 12 and a half. I'm not going to talk you off the Pelicans. I haven't touched NBA all year, just been doing college football. Of course, some NFL and some AHL. There you go. Nuggets are public. They may be. I'll join NBA once I have more data. That's fair. 2 months from now. That's fair. Joker, more than 12 rebounds. I have him for a triple-double, so I'm down for that. Yes, I like that prop. How's your brother doing? Hope he's doing good at his future career. He is doing good. He has an opportunity with something coming up. Can't really talk about it, but he does have something lined up. He's doing well. He is doing well. Wish him luck. I will. I'll be back around December to watch you cap NBA. Appreciate it. Tim is a line guy. If you want data and stats on players, this isn't the place for you. Yeah, I'm not super good with the player props. That's just not something I invest my time with. Been out of touch. My dad passed away. Dude, I'm sorry about that, bro. I apologize for that. Kyle Crims for college football. If you want more in depth, he's solid. There you go. Who does he play for? Who does he play for? That's the question. DT in the TikTok chat saying Nick not around anymore. Is Nick not around anymore? No, Nick's been gone since May. After he graduated, he's trying to get a job with the NCAA, and with that, he's not allowed to have anything involving gambling. So, 50, appreciate you following the stream. DT, appreciate the bros. What sport is FIU? College football. That is college football. Give me 2 locks on the NBA today for games. I do not believe in locks. Those are the plays I have for today. I value them all the same. I do not believe in locks. So anytime, Rise. Getting back to the swing of things. I'm glad you are. They might allow NCAA to bet on pros, I heard soon. He's not allowed to do anything with that. So there you go. You like Missouri State tonight? I'm on the opposites. Oh, you got the money line, which is going to be really, really juicy. But I'm not going to talk you off of it. No locks, just edges. And over time, hopefully you'll be more profitable. Yeah. That's the goal. We're not expecting to make millions of dollars. I just want to be profitable. FIU game goes under. Sure. I'm not going to talk you off the under in the FIU game. We've got 3 more plays in the NBA, or 3 more games, I should say. The Blazers and the Jazz. Blazers minus 3.5 with a total of 235.5. This is a Blazers team that I've actually been kind of high on this year. They're 2-2, but 4-0 against the spread. Losses to Minnesota and the Clippers, covered in both. Wins against Golden State, which I had their trifecta in. That was really nice. And they had the win against the Lakers the other night. So I was on them there. I've been on Portland a bunch this year, and they've been cashing for me nicely. On the opposite side, you got the Utah Jazz. Jazz 2-1 this year, also 3-0 against the spread, 2-1 towards the over. They have wins against the Clippers as 9.5-point dogs. They had an overtime win versus Phoenix, and then they lost by 1 to Sacramento. Utah could realistically be undefeated right now. And that being said, I'm on Portland today. I got Portland. I got them at 3. They're up to a 3.5 now. And they opened up at 1.5. They went up to 1.5 to 2.5 to 3.5 to 3 to 3.5. So Portland, all the money coming, all the line moving towards that. The money coming in the right way. 39% of bets, 57% of money on the Portland Trail Blazers. So going to continue to ride Portland. They've been one of my sleeper teams this year that's been making me some money. So I'm going to stick with some Portland Trailblazers action today. I got it at -3. Keandre, Joker triple-double every game. Do you think Jacksonville State game over 54.5 is a decent play? Let's see what the line's doing on that. Line opened up at 53.5, went up to 55.5, back down to 54.5. And where's the money coming in? Money's coming in on the over. Honestly, I didn't do anything in that game. I can't really tell you either way, just because I didn't bet anything. So if you like the over, go for it. Ken, Portland's been a wagon. Yes, they have been. Yes, they have been for sure. Well, not yet, but one day they'll change it. But I got what you mean. They shouldn't. I'll be honest. They shouldn't. They should not change it. With the amount of stuff going on, they should not. And just Needler saying Joker RA, yes. Joker rebounds and assists. Dude, just Joker triple-double every game. That's what I like. You got the T-Wolves hosting the Lakers up next. The T-Wolves are 7.5-point favorites with a total of 226.5. Lakers 2-2. T-Wolves 2-2. The Lakers lost to Golden State and they lost to Portland. They beat Minnesota by 18, which was a weird one, and they beat Sacramento by 7. And on the opposite side, you got Minnesota, who is coming off of losing by 13 to Denver. They also have a loss to the Lakers this year, as I just mentioned. They did beat Indiana and they did beat Portland, but they have not covered a spread this year until tonight. I am on the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially when you're coming off of you just lost by, 13? Yeah, you lost by 13 at home to Denver. And then you're facing a team that just beat you by 28 less than a week ago. So I like the T-Wolves in this one. Plus, no Luka, no LeBron. And I just think this Lakers team is going to struggle with both of them out. I'm really big on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. I got them at 7. They're up to a 7.5. I would take them all the way up to a 10. I think they win by double digits tonight. Cavs -3.5 versus the Celtics. No, I'm on Boston right here. Boston. So no, I'm not on that. Timberwolves have no Ant. That's fine. I'm honestly I'm not as worried about it. I feel like the Timberwolves have a lot more depth than the Lakers have. I think they're that big of favorites for a reason. Last NBA game of the day, and then we got one hockey. Memphis and Phoenix is up next. Memphis 1.5-point favorites with a total of 241 in this game. Memphis is 1.5-point favorites. They're 2-2 to start the year. They have losses to Golden State and Miami. And they have wins versus Indiana and New Orleans. On the opposite side, you got the Phoenix Suns, who had, I believe, a win on their opening night against Sacramento. Since then, have lost by 27 to the Clippers. They lost by 22 to the Nuggets, and they lost in overtime versus the Jazz. So not a fun time for the Phoenix Suns right now. And I'll be completely honest with this game. I passed. Not really anything overly I wanted to go and bet. I feel like it's a lean towards Phoenix. The line's gone from 2.5 to 1.5. And that's with more of the money coming out of Memphis. So I guess it'd be a lean towards Phoenix. Just not enough for me to want to get to this one. So we're going to end the NBA card with a pass on the Memphis game. Memphis and the Suns. Yes, good. Wolves have a good first half. Had a good first half last game. There you go. Memphis -1.5. It would be Suns or nothing. Sacramento money line. No, I don't like Sacramento. Because somebody asked who wins the Chicago game. I think Chicago does. Let's head to the ice. Well, we got one game today after 16 yesterday. And we've got even more tomorrow. I think we're at 11 tomorrow in the NHL. Leafs and the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets -115 with a total of 6.5. We've got both these two teams coming off of wins. Yes, both these teams coming off of wins. One of them was in overtime. That was Columbus. The other one was pretty close to overtime. You got Toronto in their last 5 games are 2-3, with their wins being against Buffalo and Calgary. And then on the opposite side, you got the Blue Jackets. In their last 5 games are 4-1. So they're actually looking good the last 4 games. 2 of them went to overtime. Their last 2 games went to overtime. They have a couple of nice wins in there. So Blue Jackets playing some good hockey. And the Blue Jackets have gone from dog to favorite. And that's something I love to bet. If I see a team go from dog to favorite, because this line opened up at Toronto -125. Now it's Columbus -115. That's why I did bet Columbus at minus 115. They went from dog to favorite, and that was even with 70% of the bets on the Leafs, 62% of the money, though, on Columbus. Tell me bigger, sharper bets are on the Blue Jackets. So in the one hockey game tonight, we grabbed Columbus money line minus 115. Dime 2 Dub saying Missouri State money line. That is really chalky, and I'm on FIU. Best straight bet you see today. These are all the straight bets I have. I don't have a best bet. Oilers with 5 goals in the second period. That was rough because I had Utah in that game. Why FIU and Rockets? I like FIU. I did not bet the Rockets today. So I did not bet the Rockets. But that is everything for today. We will be back again tomorrow. I appreciate everybody who did follow the TikTok. We're continuing to grow the TikTok. It's been fun. We're up to 4. Nope, I don't want that. We're up to okay, I'm going to end the stream. See ya. I had a random person jump on there. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'll see you guys tomorrow.